All right, hi everyone. So this afternoon we have Ashley from Family Behavioral Resources joining us. We are excited to have her chat with us so we can learn more about her company and some opportunities that she has for current students as well as graduates. So Ashley, thanks for being here. Do you mind just starting off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role with the organization?
Sure. I've been with the company a little over a year, and I am actually our campus recruiter slash recruiter for general jobs. But basically, the campus position is to come out to all of your career fairs that all this we used to have on site and meet with students, and then really stay in touch with everyone. Sometimes as recruiters, it can get a little bit tough to stay in touch with students. They developed my position just to stay in touch with freshmen up to seniors after you graduated, anything like that. That's my main purpose of my position.
Great. And for those that are tuning in that might not be familiar, do you mind talking just a little bit about Family Behavioral Resources, how you would describe your company?
Yeah, so we are behavioral health, community-based, and school-based, and we provide services to individuals and families. We try to do a wraparound so that we can strengthen the family, and those people can be independent, healthy, and then, ultimately reach their highest potential. So we have physicians, mental health professionals, support staff that go into the home community or schools.
Great. Um, what do you find that employees and interns like best about working at Family Behavioral Resources?
I think especially for like interns and new students is that we can provide like a part-time position and flexible hours, so people can work around different, if they're getting their master's degree and want to work on their resume building. And we also are, flexible for when people start and end. I think the flexibility is probably the most surprising and best feature that we can offer people coming into the workforce that have other obligations.
Yeah, you can't put a price on flexibility. That's
Definitely.
what makes your organization, in your opinion, unique from others that maybe operate in a similar capacity?
I think we're unique based on our number of locations. We seem to be everywhere in this area up to, uh, we provide services in Indiana, up by Seven Springs, all throughout Pittsburgh. So we're really, all around this portion of Pennsylvania. So we're really covering the majority of Pittsburgh, but then we also branch outside to even Butler. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank, but all of our locations are really the surrounding areas. So, when we come into the schools and we're able to talk to students, when people are moving back home, we're able to offer positions outside of just, staying at the school base where they're at. So that's definitely something that seems to be unique from other places that are providing this, because we are so stretched throughout this part of Pennsylvania.
Great. What is something that you think most people don't know or might be surprised to learn about your company?
That we do provide, internships that we're able to offer to students. I know that can be hard to come by. So we're able to offer the internships, and then we're also able to offer students where they can be supervised to get their licensure. I know that is also hard to come by for a lot of people, a lot of students that I talk to. I wouldn't say that we, have hundreds of positions, but for somebody who, starts the relationship early and we're really working with, it can develop into, a long-term relationship because we are, giving those positions to really qualified candidates and, providing them with the hours and such that they need to get those licensures tests taken and things.
Ashley, what majors do you typically recruit for? Is there a certain major that you tend to recruit a lot of candidates?
Um, yeah, we really look for psychology degrees, social work, but we can even take education, criminal justice. It can be really stretched for our therapeutic staff support. Those positions really help new people or new graduates get their foot in the door. And as long as they have, that bachelor's degree with one of those majors, we're able to get them into that position and start with the company. Now, if they decide to go into a master's degree, that would be more specific, but we're pretty broad as far as the therapeutic support positions.
Great. That's good to know. So Ashley, what is something that you look for when you're reviewing a candidate's resume or cover letter?
I think in a resume, just pretty basic, no mistakes. I think that it's really important for students to take their time, make sure that, whenever I'm reviewing it, I try to, give them a second chance if they're a really great candidate to resubmit. But if I were to miss that they had a mistake and send it to a hiring manager, that's the first thing they catch is the small errors on a resume. So I think, getting with somebody that can do resume write-ups with you, which we offer even whenever we come to campus for visits, a second set of eyes makes a difference because, we get hundreds of applications and something as little as a, small error on your resume can take you out of the running.
Yeah. Yeah, we say the same thing at all of the career centers too. You definitely want another set of eyes to minimize any grammatical errors. So it's nice to hear that from an employer as well. Ashley, do you have any tips on what students or candidates should do and maybe also not do in a job interview?
I think it's always best to show up overdressed rather than underdressed. Things have become really casual in the workplace. So it is easy to think that it's no big deal to come in casually dressed, but the first impression and showing that you care and are committed to coming in, impressing the people you're meeting with. I think that is great for an interview. Always being early, making sure you bring a copy of your resume to an interview, just as much as you can show that you're prepared, about the company, what you found out, showing them that you've done research and that you're truly interested in a job with that company, I think is putting your best foot forward.
No, that's great. Can you talk a little bit about any opportunities that are available for alumni or soon-to-be alumni or current students with family behavioral resources?
Sure. There are some changes, and I think that this is something to keep in mind for even younger freshmen or even sophomores. The state of Pennsylvania is changing some of their positions, so they can have just a high school diploma and a few credits and maybe their psychology degree that they're working on. And it's called a behavioral health technician, I believe, and that should be rolling out this year. And you can really be flexible with that as a student and pick up a few hours. And like I was saying, work on your resume. You don't have to have a bachelor's degree yet with that.
Okay.
That is something we're really looking forward to coming out, and that we're hopeful for, developing the relationship with students. So, but currently we do always have the TSS. So you do have to have your bachelor's degree completed for that. As far as alumni, we're always looking for licensed professionals that want to stay in the Pittsburgh area, are interested in or interested in going and working with families. We do work majority of the time with consumers on the autism spectrum. So that is something for them to kind of get their foot in the door in and starting at TSS or going with licensure. Either way, really working with the community. So the licensure positions are always something we have openings for.
And Ashley, are you on Handshake, or should students or any candidates that are interested just find those on your website?
Yeah, we're on Handshake. I would say our website has all of the positions. With us being in a strange time right now, I don't know how updated Handshake is getting, but I believe my contact information should always be on Handshake and on our website, that any student, whether they're ready to start in a position with us or just interested in finding out more, can always reach out to me directly. Because as I was saying, I have a specific role working with the campuses and helping students, get into our organization.
Great. That's good to know. Um, Ashley, what is one piece of information you'd like to leave students with as we end our time together in this session? So it can be a piece of professional advice or just something maybe we didn't get to cover about family behavioral resources, anything you'd like to leave them with.
Yeah, it's never too early to get started with an organization. I find that, we mostly promote from within. So starting with us even at one of these positions that are coming up, and just with the high school diploma, working your way into different roles and really getting to know the company can really lead to a long career. And honestly, the best piece of advice I would give anybody in any place is don't burn a bridge. You never know when you have to come back to a company. I see time after time where people have come into an organization early on in their career, and they put a bad taste in a manager's mouth, and that never leaves. So give your 2 weeks notice, don't burn a bridge. No matter what happens in that position, you never know how things will change in the future.
That's great advice. Do we have any questions? Let's take a look here and see if we have any in the chat. So you talked about internships. Are those posted online or Handshake? Where would you direct someone to look?
We don't post our internships generally. You can put in a request and that will come to me, or you can email me directly. And then I try to link that person up to the best place possible. So if you're, going to school in a certain area or living in a certain area, I can check those local offices to see if they're offering an internship. And then match them up that way. But there is a way on our website that you can put in an inquiry.
Okay, great. So people should just keep a lookout for you. Definitely, you're the contact person. We had another question come in, Ashley. What types of positions are available for master's level individuals who don't have licensure yet?
Those would be our therapeutic support specialists. So those were the positions I was talking about that can be really flexible. They can go from anywhere from like 15 hours to full time. And we're, usually hiring for those positions all the time, especially in the school year. They are even more in demand for us because the kids need extra help. So the therapeutic support staff really are putting into place what the master's level clinicians have determined the consumer needs. So they're really important positions for us, and you do not need a license for it, but you do need a bachelor's degree.
Okay, great. Do you have any other questions from anyone that's joining us live? Okay. Well, thank you so much. Okay, actually one more. I spoke too soon. Are you currently hiring, or are you on a pause given everything that's happening in our world?
No, we're actively hiring. We've really come long way with our telehealth quickly. We still have lots and lots of consumers that need our services. So we have mostly gotten to telehealth where we can to provide services. So we are actively hiring just about every position we had before this started, and even more, if you can believe that. But, in this type of work, that doesn't go away. People, especially consumers on the autism spectrum, really need that consistency. So we are trying to get people, to come on board and to stick with us so that we can, provide that consistency that those consumers need.
Great. That's good to know. Okay, I think that's it, or I might speak too soon again, but thank you so much, Ashley, for joining us. This was really helpful, and I think anyone that's watching this is certainly going to learn a lot about the opportunities that your organization can provide.
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks.